Hi everybody, and welcome to From Shambles to Shambhala. We are down in the inner harbour in Victoria today. This is Scorpio in the landscape, and we've just had a wonderful introduction to our talk today because we've just seen a seaplane going out, followed by a whale watching boat, the name of which was the Salis Sea Eclipse, which is interesting because we're going to be talking about the eclipse later. And then we had this beautiful family of sea otters come across the gorge area here, and then a lovely single seal, and people all enjoying a nice sunny day today. We've been having pouring, lashing rain for the last few days, and we're moving through the 28th gene key, which is the darkest gene key of them all. So it's been a really challenging month of October, which we're now coming to the end of. And it's created a lot of division and separation and isolation and darkness for people. So what we want to do today is to open up to a much more positive outlook. And recently we've come to the conclusion that it's time to let go of all of the old energies and let them just dissolve and dismantle away, and really begin to focus on creating the new earth. And through my sessions with people, I'm seeing loads of people across the planet doing really neat things to open the doorway into this new energy, into the new earth. So what I want to do is just talk about some important dates for the month of November, and it always starts off on November the 1st, which is the beginning of the 44th gene key, the city of which is Synarchy. And Richard Rudd has said in his book that Synarchy is the opportunity for us to step into this new frequency by doing our own inner work and making sure that we have cleared out any interference patterns within us, any corruption that we've been engaged in or people have encouraged us to be engaged in, and to set ourselves completely free through our own personal integrity and our connection to spirit and an absolutely crystal clear energy field of the fifth dimension. And then we've got three important dates coming up which I want to talk about, and the associated gene key. So the first one of those is every year a very significant date, which is the 11/11 Portal Stargate, which opens up obviously on the Remembrance Day, November the 11th, 11 a.m. in the morning traditionally. And this is the day that we honour the fallen, those people who died for the cause that they believed in. So there is a worldwide focus that day on the ancestors and the families and friends and the people who gave up their life in sacrifice for the greater good. And every year on that date there is a huge portal gateway that opens up, the 11/11, the two pillars of the portal gateway. And it happens each year in the 43rd gene key, the city of which is Epiphany. So the 43rd gene key is asking us to go really deep down in our physical bodies to receive this download of energy coming through, for us to ground into form these higher frequency energies. I'm going to continue in the story because it all interconnects beautifully. The planetary alignments for the last 2 years have really been choreographing this new earth energy coming in. So the more closely aligned we are with those planetary alignments, the easier this process gets. So then the second date is November the 19th, when we have the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. The sun is still in Scorpio, and when I looked this up, it said it was a very rare, almost total lunar eclipse, and the last time this happened was 500 years ago, but it didn't say why it was considered rare. So I had to do a bit of digging to find out that what it means by that is this is a near total lunar eclipse, because when the total lunar eclipse occurs, there is 2% of the moon which remains completely out of the eclipse. So there's like a very thin slither of the silvery moon still there. And when I thought about that, I thought symbolically, what does that represent? And I thought about two things. First one was, they can't extinguish the light. Whatever they try to do on the dark side, there are always people awake with working with the light. The light workers are here and it only requires 2% of the population of the planet to carry out this transformation. That's my own personal symbolic interpretation of that date. But what's really neat about it, the gene key of that day is the 14th gene key, and the 14th gene key, the city of which is bounteousness, Richard Rudd calls that the Midas touch. And that is the gene key that enables us to connect with the gold frequency. Everything we touch turns to gold. So now then, just imagine if you put those two together, then we are bringing that gold frequency down from the fifth dimensional realms and anchoring into Mother Earth through the epiphany of the 43rd gene key. So this is the sort of connection that I'm feeling with the third date, which actually is, interestingly, American Thanksgiving Day, the 25th of November. And on that day, there's going to be an alignment between Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus in the sign of Aquarius. And so here we are again. Remember that date back in the winter solstice when Saturn and Jupiter last year were absolutely precisely conjunct? Well, this isn't going to be that close, but you are going to be able to see all three planets in the night sky in the early dark, in the early evening, very, very close to each other. And this is taking place in the 34th gene key, and we're now in the sign of Sagittarius. And the 34th gene key is about the phoenix rising from the ashes. So I think as we make our way through November, things are going to be lightening up, things are going to be revealed, and we're going to have this opportunity to literally rise from the ashes into these fifth dimensional realms. Now the final little piece to add into that puzzle is that the 43rd gene key of the 1111 and the 34th gene key of that Saturn-Venus-Jupiter alignment, those two gene keys together make up what's called the Ring of Destiny. And this is the destiny of humanity. And the 34th gene key is the Kundalini awakening energy coming up and out from deep within the body. And I've had experiences with people recently having these Kundalini awakening experiences, and what they need to know and what you need to know is there is an equal and opposite energy required coming down and in, which happens to be the 43rd gene key. So the two together are inverse numbers of each other, the 34 and the 43, and it's reminding us that we need to go on this journey of distillation to allow the energies to rise up from the base and then to come down from on high, and rise up from the base and come down from on high, so that we are purifying, distilling our true divine essence from the inside out. So although October has been a really, really challenging month, I am bullish about the month of November to raise these frequencies, and I'm already seeing people opening the door into these higher frequencies, creating intentional community, particularly working with the children. And that is our focus for this next phase of our evolution on the planet. So stay calm, stay centered, whatever's taking place on the planet, and continue to hold to the highest frequency that you can and embody this gold frequency coming down from on high, helping ourselves through these three dates: November the 11th, November the 19th, November the 25th. Blessings to you all.